McKinley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two quick questions, if I could, Ms. McCabe. Again, welcome back. It's my understanding that you can't blend ethanol with diesel fuel, and the market will not accept more than 2 to 5% of the biodiesel blend in diesel. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not an expert on this issue. Be glad to get you specific answers, but there is a blend concept relative to diesel as there is.
Under biodiesel, we might be able to do that 2 to 5%, but the EPA imposes the same proportional RIN obligation on all refiners, even some that produce significantly more diesel than gasoline. From what I understand, these diesel-rich refiners it can't separate enough RINs to meet their obligation, and so they're forced to buy RINs to offset that. And one in my district, it's going to cost them millions of dollars. They're just a small boutique type refinery that is being hurt with this. So I'm curious, can't we develop, or would you be willing to develop a refiner's obligation for corn at one level, ethanol on one for gas, and a separate one for diesel fuel? Would that not make sense, that we separate the two rather than treat them as equal because they're not? Would that make any sense to you?
Well, I don't think that's the way the statute was set up, and through the way the statute was set up, and then the rules that EPA set up, and I wasn't there at that time, so I wasn't personally involved. But the notion that the RIN market as a big open and flexible and liquid market was the best tool for the refiners to be able to meet their obligations.
Well, would that make? But would it? Okay, I hear it. But would it? Would it make sense? They have two separate obligations, one for diesel and one for gasoline.
You know, we'd be glad to talk with you about that further.
Let's pursue that a little bit, because sure. I think we have a unique situation with a small refinery that's being penalized because they're producing far more diesel than they are gasoline, but yet they have this problem. Let me go to another question. Does the EPA assume that the RIN bank will increase or decrease once the obligated parties begin reporting their RIN compliance for 2014, 2015, and 2016? Do you think it's going to increase or decrease?
I don't know that I have an opinion right now. We watch these numbers on an ongoing basis, and I think the RIN bank has been relatively stable. You know, people can they have these credits, they can use them the next year, and so
okay.
So
well, if perhaps the RIN bank is depleted, if it's depleted, which apparently that's what a lot of the refiners are expecting that to happen on it, would the EPA consider adjusting their proposal to account for the shortage of RINs in the market?
Well, we think that the RIN bank is a really important feature of the program, because it provides that cushion for manufacturers, and they accumulate RINs in a RIN bank to provide them with that kind of security. So in the proposal that we put out, we designed it in a way that did not have an expectation that the RIN bank would be used to satisfy these obligations.
Okay, I yield back the balance of my time, hoping that maybe we can sit down and talk about how we might be able to treat this small refiner different than someone else. Thank you very much. I yield back.